Hey, what's going on YouTube? So, screwing around today on the internet, mostly on Reddit, I came across this article telling me that Wellesley College was apparently going around and covering up their artwork that had been made by immigrants. Finding this interesting, I took the time to do what I consider insanely good internet sleuthing, something that most people are not willing to do in this day and age, namely actually reading the article. And it turns out, apparently, they held a day without immigration to protest supposed racist policies from Donald Trump and, of course, his supporters, the right. So, today we will be having a discussion on how to make an argument or protest using facts instead of feelings. Alright guys, arguing facts over feels. Let me start this segment by saying I'm not a right-wing individual. Facts over feels is a common saying by people like Ben Shapiro and Milo okay, I still have master pronunciation of his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyways, facts over feels has come to be associated with the right-wing movement. Then again, many on the right-wing side of things believe a magical sky fairy created the world with nothing but words and has somehow simultaneously influenced every person and world events since the beginning of time, which he apparently existed before, while giving everyone and everything free will and is unable to answer every prayer possible, so who knows how much the right actually holds to fact. Regardless, there has been a serious straying away from facts in favor of feelings and discussion for quite some time now. I get it. Discussions can get heated, some topics inspire emotion and passion in people. That doesn't mean you can ignore facts when determining the effects or results of a policy, political view, or event. I believe a major reason for such disconnect between the left and the right is this difference of basis for thought. Look, it doesn't matter if something offends you. Saying, I'm offended, is saying your feelings were hurt and you expect someone else to manage your lack of coping ability. How do you expect anyone to take any argument you have seriously when you openly admit you can't handle your own emotions is beyond me. Yeah, I get it. Racial bigotry is stupid. People who think guns are the problem are idiots. People who want you to pay for their necessities are leeches. People who think everyone else should live by their religion are retarded. People who abuse mental health terms for entertainment are assholes. People who present obscenities in public are inappropriate. Basically, everything is going to piss off someone. None of that means your feelings trump facts. When having a discussion, stick to the facts. If you only present facts and your opponent starts getting pissed, commences name-calling, or ever says, that's offensive, congratulations then. You just won. Now, what are facts? Okay, this shouldn't require discussion, but from observing YouTube, discussions between coworkers, and the fucking mainstream media, apparently facts requires a definition. So, let's go to the internet. Type in fact in Google and you get fact, noun, a thing that is indisputably the case. Okay, I'm not going to lie, the fact that they opened up with a thing and then indisputably the case, being a colloquialism, not super confident in their ability, but hey, whatever. Used in discussing the significance of something that is the case. Again, colloquialism, but alright, we'll work with it. A piece of information used as evidence or as part of a report or news article. Okay, I have to be honest with you, I'm actually going to argue with that last part. A piece of information used as evidence, that doesn't make it a fact. I can say whatever, and they could quote me as saying that, say that's the piece of information, and use that as evidence. I could say the sky is fucking chartreuse. Some reporter could quote me as saying that and say, well, this guy, who I'm going to assume has something to do with science or whatever, says the sky is chartreuse, so there's my facts. It needs to be verifiable. Alright, screw this. The internet apparently doesn't have anything on it. Facts are very simple. Is it a verifiable piece of information? Is it something that can be proven wrong? A fact is a fact. Grass is typically green. Fact. We perceive water as typically blue. Or clear, I guess, but a fact is a verifiable thing. Wood is typically brown. Stones are hard. Something that can be backed scientifically. Now, at no point did your feelings get mentioned in there. When having a discussion, don't bring up your feelings. How you feel is irrelevant and will only aid your opponent if brought up. Let's look at some common examples of this. Gun control. A common argument, but guns are only designed to kill. People don't need guns. We have police. First off, guns kill less people every year than cars, drugs, and heart disease. An item that is designed to send a small piece of metal at ridiculous speeds, sometimes over ridiculous ranges with lethal force, frequently used in a violent manner, kills less people than many common items, many diseases, and something that we actually use to help people. Now, gun control has been proven time and time again to not only be irrelevant in death and violent crime, but can actually cause violent crime to go up since, potential victims have become easier targets. Look, cops take forever to show up, whether you live in an urban environment out in the middle of nowhere or even in a regular town. Odds are cops are going to take a minute to get there. We'll do a video in the future on gun control and the logical fallacies behind it, but the fact of the matter is gun control is a common topic where facts, for some reason, take a backseat to feelings. Look at the facts, determine what your side is from there. Personally, I'd recommend you need your own protection. Immigration. Immigrants are a threat and they'll take our jobs. Okay, yeah. Some immigrants are in fact a threat. Then again, so is a decent chunk of the local population anywhere in the world. So, while that's technically correct, you're basing off of, those immigrants are dangerous. Yeah, some immigrants are going to be dangerous, just like some local members of the population are going to be dangerous. Immigrants taking jobs, that is a possibility in certain locations and industries, so I'd say that's kind of fair. But then again, it's not a result of the immigrants. If governments weren't so keen on taxing and regulating every business and person as much as they possibly could, then it wouldn't be a possibility to be undersold by people willing to work for next to nothing, because, you could work for next to nothing if need be. The fact of the matter is, without the ridiculous amount of government-funded programs we have in this glorious USSR, the average person wouldn't have to pay out for taxes at every freaking turn. If you're pissed about costs and jobs, don't go after the immigrants, go after the institution that gives them an advantage. The Women's March. Okay, I'll probably end up doing a video on this and the whole feminist movement in the future, but for now let's just go through some basic ones that are feelings over facts. The wage gap. Women make, it's like 71 cents, 82 cents, it seems like it bounces around, for every dollar a man makes. Okay, that isn't true. The wage gap is not real. This comes from studies that have been disproven time and again. People who actually stick to factual arguments know this and can disprove your argument. 1 in 5 women will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime in the United States. Again, that is not based on fact. That is based on a wildly flawed study that has been disproven time and again. Again, in the future, I'll do another video on the whole feminist movement, but the fact of the matter is, those who stick with facts know that the 1 in 5 women number is not accurate. Another common thing with the Women's March was, my body, my choice. That one I can actually get behind. But let's not leave it at your body. My property, my choice. My money, my choice. I don't understand why these groups that go around preaching my body, my choice are then perfectly content turning around and pushing for legislation that puts restrictions on people's personal freedom. If you actually think your body and your self should be only under control of you, then why would you continue to be okay with people being in power over you and running how you live your day-to-day life? Gays ruin the sanctity of marriage. Okay, first off, being required to get government permission to marry ruins the sanctity of marriage. If you think God is the only authority on who can get married, and you're not complaining about an oligarchy chosen by mob rule requiring payment to join in holy matrimony, you're bass-ackwards there, bud. Second, if the church is willing to marry them, then the church is clearly cool with it. Therefore, the sanctity is fine. Finally, marriage is 2 people saying they're cool with combining money, property, resources. They aren't your money. It's not your property. They aren't your resources. Fuck off out of their lives. Alright guys, those are just a few examples of facts over feels. Now, if any of these examples rustled your particular jimmies, maybe you should reconsider your line of reasoning. If, reasoning was in fact in any way involved. If not, congratulations, you're at least logically mature. Next time you engage in verbal combat, try to remember to stick with verifiable facts and wait until you get referred to as something insulting rather than your argument being addressed. This will signal your victory over the CIS shitlord, SJW snowflake, Democrat Republic cunt idiot you've been debating with. Okay folks, here's the deal. I'm about 12 deep now, so I'm going to be signing off. Remember, in this day and age of fake news and ridiculous claims, the only reliable information sources are ones who avoid emotional connection and stick to the facts. Guys, stay safe, stay smart, have fun out there.